All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Christie Wright Wild, and I am going to read you our weekly story time, our read aloud. And hopefully, the tech will uh, cooperate. So, this book is called The Oldest Student How Mary Walker Learned to Read. When I first heard about this book, I was like, I have to have a copy. And so I finally got a copy, and actually, this is the first time I'm reading it. So I haven't read it fully through, surprisingly, by myself yet. But I did read this on the jacket flap, and I wanted to read that too. It's really cool. In 1848, Mary Walker was born into slavery. At the age of 15, she was freed. At 20, she was married and had her first child. At 68, she was still working and raising money for her church. At 114, she was the last remaining member of her family. And at 116, Mary Walker learned to read. So this book basically just goes through her perseverance and dedication of her life and what that journey is like. Okay. The Oldest Student, How Mary Walker Learned to Read, written by Rita Lorraine Hubbard and illustrated by Oge Mora. I might not have pronounced that correctly, but that's a Caldecott Honor winner. Whenever young Mary Walker was tired, she would shield her eyes from the sun and watch the swallow-tailed kites dip and soar above the trees. That must be what it's like to be free, she thought. But Mary didn't watch for long. Even at only 8 years old, she knew the first rule of the Union Springs, Alabama plantation she lived on: keep working. She knew the second rule, too. Slaves should not be taught to read or write, or do anything that might help them learn to do so. Mary did not stop working. She didn't learn to read either, but at the end of each long day picking cotton, toting water to Papa and the other slaves who chopped wood for the train tracks, or helping Mama clean the big house, she would lie in her little bed next to the crumbling fireplace and think about those birds. When I'm free, I'll go where I want and rest where I want, and I'll learn to read too. When she was 15, it happened. Mary and her mother, brothers, and sister were free. The Emancipation Proclamation said so. What it didn't say was how a family with nothing except the tattered garments on their backs could find food, clothes, and a place to sleep. Mary's father had died, and the family. Okay, my video ended, but here's part two. Hopefully it's gonna work for us. One fine day, Mary's hard work paid off. She could read. Word of her accomplishment traveled, and people everywhere celebrated with her. Chattanooga's mayor, newspaper journalists across the country, and a man from the U.S. Department of Education who said, "Mrs. Mary Walker, I pronounce you the nation's oldest student," all shared her joy. Mary felt complete. She still missed her sons, but whenever she was lonely, she read from her Bible or looked out her window and read the words in the street below. From then on, Chattanoogans honored Mary's achievement with yearly birthday parties. In 1966, President Lyndon B. Johnson sent well wishes on Mary's 118th birthday, and in 1969, President Richard Nixon did the same. Mary was now 121 years old. Mary received many gifts over the years: a radio, a sofa, her very first television, a new Bible, the keys to the city, and perfume and champagne from the Canadian Mounties. She also received something that brought back those long days in the Alabama cotton fields: her first airplane ride. From the cockpit window, Mary gazed at the trees and rooftops below. No different than a horse and buggy ride, she joked, but she knew it was. As the airplane dipped and soared like those swallow-tailed kites of long ago, Mary decided that flying was a lot like reading. They both made a body feel as free as a bird. Each year before her birthday celebration came to an end, someone would whisper, "Let's listen to Miss Mary." The shuffling and movement would fade away until not a sound was heard. Then Mary would stand on her old legs, clear her old throat and read from her Bible or her school book in a voice that was clear and strong. When she finished, she would gently close her book and say, "You're never too old to learn." And that is the story. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you love this book, go buy a copy. I'm not an affiliate or anything, but The Oldest Student, How Mary Walker Learned to Read. Amazing, amazing story. I love it so much because we can all learn how to read. And that is one of my goals as a writer and as with the Read the Next Book, the subscription box, to help more people learn how to read and enjoy reading more often. All right, thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next Tuesday back with another book for another read aloud.